What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well on this Friday afternoon. Let me get this recap out the way so I'm not tempted to take any more trades. Before I take any more trades, today has been a good day in the market, so don't get it twisted. It wasn't a bad day, but I said I was done trading at like 10 o'clock. I said I was done trading at 10 o'clock. Stepped back down and I took another trade. It was a red trade, and I hate giving back money. Hate giving it back. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up TRADERVUE real quick. Reviewing trades for Friday, March 17th. Took 5 trades today. Closed P&L is 123. That was 155 just a few minutes ago. 2 trades on the SPY, one small green, one decent sized red one. NVDA, that $9 trade should have been a banger of a trade. We'll see that when we review it. Came right back. NVDA, $120. There go that banger trade. But look at the difference. The first trade, I had 4 contracts and I made $9. The second trade, I only had 1 contract and I made $120. Do you see the disparity? And then I traded Apple. Small trade on Apple, probably about a 2R trade on Apple. But yeah, NVDA did it to me again today. That's one of those nemesis stocks that I have, along with Airbnb, that for some reason they just like to get the best of me. They just like to get the best of me. But let's go ahead. Let's bring up Thinkorswim. We'll get these things done. And I deleted that particular NVDA stock from my watch list because I just did not want to see it anymore. So what I'm going to do is shrink that down. And I'm going to go ahead. I need to go back in to the ladder and find that particular contract. So give me 1 second just so I can load it up. It was March 17, 255 puts. It's going to be that one there. Let's add that to the options watch list. Let's come over here and make sure. Yep, $9. So there we go. All right. Let's look at the big picture on the SPY real quick, because you saw that last trade that I just took was a red trade on the SPY. So the SPY this morning, it had a couple of decent little intraday trends. Market opens, boom, we get this big push down. So I had the SPY in a hourly down channel right here, and then these little intraday channels. But this line right here, this yellow line, this is the weekly down channel for the SPY. So if you come and look at the chart below, that's the weekly chart. So that's what we're seeing right now. The market had been in this down channel starting in October. It started an uptrend in this up channel. We got right here where it should have bounced and went higher, and it didn't. One thing though that I did notice, you see right here when it's pulled back, this needed to go a little bit higher. This is almost like a flat top. This needed to come up and tap that and then go back down. But last week, we should have pushed higher. It didn't. It failed the down. It failed this up channel. And look at what it did starting this week. It failed deeper into this down channel. And if you look at the smaller time frames, you look at the 2-minute, the hourly, and the 4-hour, it's fighting to stay out of that down channel. It's fighting to stay out of it. And on the 4-hour, this one looks the weakest. because we got this nice top and tail. You come over to the hourly, decent top and tail, little bit of indecision on the bottom of that candle. But I just took that last trade right here. Should have been about right there. Thinking that this was going, the bulls were going to hold this from dropping back down in there. I got in right there. It kind of peekabooed up to 391 and then it rolled over. So that was my thought process on that last trade. But let's go ahead. Let's switch this over to our 3-chart layout that I like to use for doing the recaps. And we're going to recap the 2 SPY trades real quick. So let me go here. First one was why don't I see it? Let's see. Was that it? No, did I delete it as well? I may have deleted all of these same day expirations. Let's see. That was another March 17, 397 call. So let's check it out and see. Yep, I deleted it. And what was this other one? Sorry about this, y'all. I deleted those because I did not want to see them on. And this one actually wasn't. I thought it was a March 17. So that was one good thing. It wasn't a March 17 one. 397 again. Let's see if that's it. Yep. All right. So let's go back to the business at hand. Both of them was 397s. So this was the first one that we took. Let's see where we were getting in at. Change that to the arrow. And why don't I see it lining up with my contract? Do this, do that. Yeah, it's not moving. So the moving on that one, that's weird. I tell you, Thinkorswim can be weird at times. But this one, very, 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 did I say very? Aggressive entry. Getting in right here. Nah. This thing already should have pushed up to the top of the channel. Why are you buying it to go higher when it's pulling back down? That's not very bright, LMD. See where we got out at. Got out in this candle right here. And got out for a $4 gain. Saw the writing on the wall with this candle right here. When it tried to get in and go and it couldn't, I was out of the trade. Out of the trade. I want to look over here and see, because I'm thinking I got in this candle fairly low. Yep, I got in right there. All right, had a call come in. Let's see if we're going to take off where we left off. So yeah, right here. Figured I was getting in somewhat, not at the total top of it, but yeah, decent exit, getting out for that small little gain. And let's look at this last one that we just took, man. This was the stupid trade right here. This was one that I really could have kept from losing money on. Got in at 11.16. Let's look and see what that 11.16 was. It the candle I thought? Yep. The exact candle that I thought. So getting in, we see that the SPY had made this huge move down, kind of curled over. One thing that I do want to add to the list or to my screen real quick is something that a fellow YouTuber turned me on to, Spark. And I'm going to have to get his YouTube channel just so y'all can know about it. But something called the ad. This shows you money coming in and out of the market, for a lack of better terms. Just shows you money coming in and out of the market. So let me unlink that, come back over to the SPY, and we're going to see. One thing about the ad, you can almost trade this thing, or not trade it, because you can't trade it, but you can view it almost like a stock. Look at that thing. It was in a downtrend, had a slight uptrend, got right here at the retest to go higher, and it just tanked. We'll see how this comes into play on NVDA too. So this is something new that I'm going to try to be incorporating. I'll be getting quite a bit of chart time in this weekend. But getting in right here. So I'm basically buying like in the middle of this candle. And we see that it does make a slight push higher. And then I didn't have this channel drawn at the time. Had I had it, I would have known, like, get out right there, because this is about to push back down. And the way that I drew the channel, I'm going to cancel the right extension. This point started the channel, and then I drew it as a channel, and I used this point right here. So I'll show you real quick just how easy it was when I drew this channel, and it would have saved me, because I would have got out for whatever that gain was. I would not have set back in this thing for the pull back down. So I'm going to redraw it as a channel. I'm going to just come up to that point right there, right here. And you see none of that's attached yet. I'll go ahead and extend that to the right. And there you go. Look at that. This probably should have been up a little higher to get that point touching, that point right there touching, and those points. But that's just a quick on how I drew that. But I got in right here, and I was stubborn. I was stubborn. I should have only taken like a $20 loss on this, maybe even a $10 loss if you really want to know the truth. But I stayed in this thing trying to be right. I stayed in it trying to be right. I moved my stop down a little bit to try to say, okay, well, maybe it's going to bounce off of this area right here. Nope. And let's see where it's at now. Like I told you, though, this is the weekly down channel. And look at how it is fighting to not end the week in that down channel. But that was our SPY trades right there. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at NVDA. So this was our first NVDA trade. And it's not pulling. So do that and that. There we go. Told you. Thinkorswim could be real finicky at times. But let's take a peek at this one. Getting in on this candle here. This was a put. This was a buck the system trade. This is not what we do over here at LMD Trading. Reason I say that this was a buck the trend trade, if you notice, hourly up channel. That's the hourly up channel. And I had it in a intraday up channel. So the market opens, this thing just pops. I take this trade. Let's see where we were getting in on this candle. So getting in, not quite at the top of the candle. So probably getting in, let's put it right there, which would be good. I'm playing this break back down. Let's look and see when I got out of this. I got out of this thing as it flushed all the way back down to right here. Do you see my frustration in this trade? So I'm getting in, and that's about right, because I said it was, I might have been even up a little closer here, because in the Discord I said this thing made a $2 move. It went from 263 down to 261, and I hadn't captured no profit. Very little. You see, I'm in at 50. First two contracts, I'm out at 53. And then these last two, I'm out at 51.5. And let's see which candle that is. So that's even as it's pushing lower. I'm getting out right there. These are puts. This thing should be paying like crazy on this move. But these were same day expiration contracts. And these had a delta of like 15 to 19. Let's look over here and see where the delta is. Showing a delta of 19. But Theta just had to be kicking butt on these. Because look at this move. After this trade, I actually was like, man, I think I'm done. Because this might be a sign of what today is going to be for me. This thing has gone $3. So on a 0.25 delta, going $3, that's $75. I had 4 contracts. So this should have been money. And I made $9. But I didn't let it totally fluster me. It did fluster me, but I didn't totally let it fluster me. And I ended up trading it again. Let's look and see where we got in on this one. So getting in on this one, let me make these a little bit bigger so I can kind of actually see. Got in right about there on this trade, about 261. As this was bouncing off of this intraday up channel, and as it was breaking out, because again, I'm playing the big move. I'm playing the move back up to the top. Now, I stayed in this one a long time to get the profits that I did. So let's go ahead. Let's bring this over. I rode this down. This thing caught support, which this is the hourly up channel. It should catch support. It does. I probably could have bought another contract right there, to tell you the truth. I would have paid about $2 for that contract. And then I get out of this one. And I'm only in one contract, y'all. I ride this thing all the way back up. Let's see. I got out at 435. Probably at the base. Not quite at the base, but close to the base of this as it was kind of pulling back down. In at 315, I'm out at 435. That's $120. Again, had I grabbed another contract here playing this to bounce, that was $235 in that move right there. But solid trade there. This entry was a little early, a little premature. Probably should have stayed and waited to this move. Be patient. What's that? That's 944. That's 951. It's only 7 minutes. Wait, get this move right here. And you see what they did. They're getting people to buy right here, playing it back up. They come and they wick you out, and then they run. So wait on this candle to close. Let this candle push back in, and then you could set your stop down there somewhere, and that was money. That was money, but solid trade right there. Solid trade. And let's go ahead. Let's take a look at Apple real quick, and we're going to wrap this one on up. Apple was a call. Let's take a picture at the big picture. Apple was one of those that I didn't really have a sense of direction on pre-market, intraday, but I always have my hourlies. I always have my hourlies. And that's one of the hourly lines right there. So let us blow that back out and let's see where we were getting in at. Getting in on this candle right here as it's pushing back up. This one here, I got in not so much on a, not so much on the trend, but how it was kind of holding right here. And I want to, after I finish this one, I want to go back and look at, NVDA and look at the ad, just so we can kind of see what it was doing in relation to us being in the trade. And like I said, it's crazy how this thing will work sometimes. So getting in right there. If you look at that lower right chart where the ad is at. Do you notice that it's in a down channel and it's breaking out of the down channel right here? That's where I was getting out at. I mean, that's where I was getting in this trade at. And let's look and see where we actually got out at. Left quite a bit of money on the table on this one. Got out right here as this was coming back over VWAP. And let's look at the ad. We get this big move, that explosive move. This was a contract. It was expiring on 3/31, so it had some time on it. I have to quit buying those same days. I like to buy them because they're cheap, but I need to do like I did on this one. Go out at least a week or so. But solid move right there. Like I said, left a little bit of money on the table. I got out at 178. This thing went to $2. So left $22 on the table. Would have made 50 bucks on this one. Actually, yeah, it would have made an additional 50 bucks, I should say, because I had two contracts. But that was the Apple trade. But let's go back. Let's look at NVDA real quick. I want to look at NVDA and I want to look at, we'll look at both of them. So this was the first trade. Man. That's why I said, look at how correlated that is. So I'm getting in NVDA up in this candle somewhere. But if you look at the ad, I'm getting in right there on that top and tail as this is about to flush down. And this here makes a move before this makes a move. This is the New York Stock Exchange. And what the ad is it showing you how many stocks are green or how many stocks are moving red in a particular time. So it's almost like seeing the money come in or out of the market. But that's what that showed. I got out in this candle right here. Look at that. As it's basing out, you get the pullback, you get that pullback. But this is the one that I wanted to see. My entry on this one. Yeah, I'm buying as the ad is showing that this is about to go down again. That's the big, that should have been expected. And that's why I say, well, I'm gonna get some chart time in this weekend because I want to see just how well the ad correlates with a particular stock, but more especially the SPY, because these are NASDAQ stocks, but they also trade with how the SPY trades. And let's look and see where we got out at. Man. Nice exit. We got out in this candle on the ad. And then look at what it did. It just waterfalled over. And just kind of waterfalled over. Not as big. Let's look at the SPY real quick. Let's look at the SPY during that same time. Right there. If you look, you'll see the line down here on there. You get that waterfall. And like I said, this ad kind of gives you the prelude to the move. So the ad was coming down. It broke out of that channel. It's uptrending, kind of consolidated. And look at what the SPY is doing. Just kind of chopping around. We get this big move on the ad. You get this big move on the SPY. So I'm going to be looking at this ad and looking at some charts, just trying to see if it might give me some little edge, But thanks as always for checking me out. Hope you enjoyed this recap. If you did, please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. Did you make some money today on this move that we had? I know a few of the people that's in the Discord, they already had posted that they had a real good day today. So hopefully everybody else was able to take advantage of these moves and make some money. Like I said, I'll be getting some studying in over the weekend. If you want to make it in this game, you definitely have to put in the work. So it's more than just this 8:30 to like 11:30 that I try to trade. In the evenings, I'm back looking at these charts. On the weekends, when I'm in my shop, I'm out here looking at these charts because it's all about making ourselves better when it comes to trading. But on that note, I'm going to wrap this up and we'll be back at it again Monday. Peace.